In this video, we're going to look at LSU's Jayden Daniels and some different clips that show how accurate he is, how athletic, how big of an arm. We'll give it a comparison to who we think he plays like and who he can be similar to, looking at film, so it's going to be a good one. And we're going to dive right in. Not looking at scheme or anything, we're just looking at how Jayden Daniels plays right here. And on this one, you can see pretty good pass rush here by Arkansas, getting some pressure, making him step up. See how accurate this ball is. We're going slot fade from the 20-yard line, so this is an intermediate throw. Throwing this thing from about the 25, 26, lays it up on a slot fade. You can't throw them through the back of the end zone. This is the exact spot we're going to put it about 5 yards deep. Unbelievably accurate ball. Great job there by the receiver running it down as well, but just the accuracy, knowing that your receiver can run it down, great ball placement. Jayden was pretty good at throwing these slot fades. Here's another slot fade, this time against Mississippi State. And on this, you can see one high look, so great recognition, knowing that you just want to work that slot fade. Again, this one's a little bit deeper, so instead of the 25 where this ball was set, this is on the 33. And right here, just a big three, steps up, looks comfortable, lets it rip as he's getting hit. So again, probably didn't really feel his pressure very much, but D lineman gets beat, gets hit, lays it out there, and of course when he throws this ball's already out. He's just even with him right now. He just knew that in that space his guy's going to win with that matchup. So again, accurate ball, up and over the outside shoulder. Keeps him in stride for the most part, maybe a little bit behind, maybe by a foot or two. But right there, great anticipation, great ball. He was really good at throwing those slot fades this past year. Here's a look right here, just throwing a vertical to the outside receiver against press coverage. That safety hangs, great job recognizing it. Again, big three, this is late in the year. He got a lot better throughout the year, looked a lot more comfortable. And right here, just easy drop right here by the quarterback, strides through, up and over. And this is a big ball right here. So if you're looking at it, hits him right in stride at the 25-yard line. So if you're looking at how far that throw is in the air, that's 50 throws. I think we looked at most of the fades right there and some of the good ones that he had this past year. On this one, against Alabama, obviously this is good defense. This is what Jayden Daniels does to people. You got to watch him with his linebacker. He steps up. He's basically spying Jayden Daniels. That makes Alabama use an extra defender to play him. So that's one of those things that really helps out having Jayden Daniels. He's looking over here to the smash or verticals. He doesn't like it, so he gets his next progression. Guy working in the middle of the field. There is a lot of space, tons of space, but right there puts it right on his body. Pretty accurate ball, and a really good job of just moving his feet through his progression. So right here looks really comfortable. Just one step. He's looking through his progression. His feet come with his eyes. Easy, accurate ball right there for Jayden Daniels. Makes it look easy again. This is another look of working through the progression and being really accurate. So again, eyes start here, feet start there. So really good job. And then he doesn't like it. Get some defenders out there. Doesn't get that out. Again, his eyes and feet are working in unison. He gets all the way to that dig to the backside. This is a really good view of it right here. Again, looking at his eyes, looking at his feet. They start here. As his eyes move, so do his feet. He looked here. I think he got to it late. Then the anticipation. Ball's out right now. You see where he's at. About to run through that window. Great anticipation. Accurate ball puts it right on his face mask, which is exactly where you want it to be. Great ball through the window. Accuracy right there. And the timing is really good. Another similar ball right here again. Eyes start here. Finds his dig to the next window. Tons of space in the middle of the field, but then he just throws an absolute missile. Hits him right in the stride. Great accurate ball again. He's one of those things that throughout the year he just got more and more comfortable. Here's a look right here. Not just a bomb on this fade, but just the ball placement is really good. You got trips over here to the field. You got a single with no safety help, probably a press. You're just looking at his feet. He looks very comfortable. Just gets where you want it. Great ball. Good job knowing your receiver, his length, how he can make plays. There's no chance for the DB right there with inside leverage to make a play on this fade. So this is a really accurate ball on the fade. And of course, we will see some balls here in just a second where he doesn't quite put that accuracy on it. Pretty accurate throw right here. You get an out route by the slot receiver, and Jayden Daniels, 1, 2, 3, gets a big three. Doesn't really stride through it. He's like kind of flat-footed on this one, but you can see how hard he can rotate and throw. He drills that thing. Really accurate. Pretty good coverage there by Arkansas, but great throwing catch right there just before the sideline. Great anticipation and great accurate throw with some pace to it. Now we're going to look at some examples where Jayden Daniels wasn't quite as accurate, and you can see why he wasn't right here. Looks like they're looking for a slot fade. You're going to dig over here on this side. And if you're looking at his feet, he just doesn't look real comfortable right here. But only he thinks he's going there. And by the time he throws this dig through this middle window, he's not striding through. He's just kind of using his hips. There are some people that can do this. Aaron Rodgers, a couple guys like that. But right here on this one, Jayden, needs to reset his feet so he can stride through it and drill this through this window. He's a little bit late to it as well. Puts this thing behind, and again, when his feet and his eyes are a little bit off and not working together, right there, inaccurate ball, misses the guy that's wide open in the middle of the field. Here's another look, and this time it's on a curl, and this is a ball that everybody should make. If a high school guy is low on this and makes a guy get down to try to make a play, we'd be mad right there. Obviously, this could be a catch, but right there you want to drill right through his face mask. He's low with it, just inaccurate. It doesn't look like his feet are way off right here. Looks like they're pretty good. Maybe a little bit of an overstride right there, and maybe that's why it's low. But right here, just a miss on a curl. Should make this throw all day. Just a little bit low. This, again, it's early in the season where he did have some accuracy issues. We saw that fade earlier, and of course that was late in the year against A&M. This is early in the year against Florida State, and just the accuracy on this ball is not where you want it. So right there, he's throwing it right at the defender. If you're throwing it with that trajectory, it's got to be back a lot more. So just the accuracy here is not very good. Probably would want to have a little bit more trajectory on that, up and over, but definitely to want it more back. But right there, just throws it right into the back of the defender. Doesn't give his guy a chance, whether he was going back shoulder or whether he was going kind of up and over. Either way, you need to be a little bit further to the front pylon or closer to the front pylon than he is. Easy play there by the DB. Hits him right in the back. Here's a look of just a one-on-one route. Looks like he's going there, and they're trying to throw a back shoulder or a stop. And he rips this, of course. There are guys getting hands up, and this is a good defense they're playing. And on this one, he kind of airmails it, throws it wide. Receiver doesn't really have a chance to get to it. So right here, inaccurate ball on that stop route. Again, early in the year, had some issues. This one here was pretty ugly, and I don't know if this is an option route where they just had a little bit of miscommunication or if it's just a really bad ball. But right here, it looks like an option route. He sits, and when he sits, he has to speed his feet up. Just watch his feet here. To me, it looks like he's late to get where he wants to be. Maybe he's trying to throw a hitch. Either way, he needs to get his feet set, and right there, he's leaning forward. You see how far that shoulder is over the top of that knee, and he basically drills that thing right to the ground. You see the trajectory right off his hand is straight down. So really no chance right here. Of course, would love for him to be a little bit more patient, have his feet set a little bit quicker, and then once he works in, maybe reset, work it to the middle of the field. But right there, late with his feet, and that causes an inaccurate throw there on that option route. Here's a look of throwing it to the back. Of course, he's working through a progression. You got a slot fade, then you've got your drive here. These guys working under. You got a dig, and you got an out here. Looks like he goes out, and he works back in on an angle or a Texas route. And on this, Jayden, again, he's working his feet around with it, and then just the inaccuracy. Right there, you got to hit this right in his face mask. If you're looking at his transfer of weight, there's no transfer of weight right here to the front foot. I know it's a ball that's throwing literally 6-8 yards. Should be able to throw this like a dart. But right there, still got to have your normal footwork as far as the transfer to the front foot to be consistent and accurate on this, especially with that guy working back in. I know you want to take a little bit off of it. Right there, it takes a little bit too much. Inaccurate ball behind. Running back can't make a play. Of course, those guys need an easy ball to catch. They're probably not catching nearly as many as the receivers are in practice. So you got to make it easy on them right there. Michigan, Alabama fans, guys that watch this game, this is a very similar play to the one that they converted on a 4th and 2. You're getting this guy out of the backfield. You're going mesh here. Here's your number one option. And the difference here was J.J. McCarthy hit him right in stride. And on this one, again, looking at his feet. That's the main issue right there. He's striding right there. He's probably thrown this ball 1,000 times in practice and made it with his feet being off a little bit. But right here, with a little bit of pressure, moment's getting to him right here. Probably the defense hit him a couple times. This is on a 2nd and 5. Should be an easy throw and catch right here for a first down. But instead he throws it behind. Running back, he's a little bit stiff. Should open those hips, make a play for him. But he doesn't right there. But an accurate ball allows him to run away from this defender. Probably get a first down right here. Maybe even a big play if you can make him miss. Example of just being antsy with your feet. It's kind of a half roll. Now he's working back here. He's looking for this tight end working across. And you see right there, he's just hopping up and very inaccurate. And this, again, it's only a 10-yard throw. Should be able to make this in your sleep. Throws it low. Tight end can't come up with the play. You got to put that right on his shoulder pad and allow him to run for him. He can create a big play right there in a first down, but he's just hopping with his footwork. He's just hopping around instead of just sliding. Just not what you want right there. Should just be sliding. There's really no pressure. Should be an easy catchable ball right there for the tight end, but just a little bit inaccurate on that one as well. So right there with the accuracy, obviously he got a lot better throughout the year. Most of his issues were with his feet. Whenever his feet weren't right, the ball was inaccurate. Later in the year, whenever he was really tuned in fundamentally, he was extremely accurate and played really well. So on that, I'm going to have to give Jayden Daniels a B+ on accuracy. I think that he got a ton better throughout the year. He did have some issues, especially early. I think all those clips were early in the year. So hopefully he's got that taken care of. So I'm going to give him a B+ for accuracy. Then we're going to look at just arm strength on this. And running a bit of a switch here. I think he goes to the middle. He goes to the slot fade. Still vertical out there. Not sure like what they're running here. But on this one, you can see this ball is thrown from about the 40-yard line and gets down to about the 25. So this is about a 45-yard throw. And Jayden Daniels is putting everything he's got on it. One thing I would say right here, I know it's in the corner string. Sorry about that. But right here, 1, 2, 3, he should be stepping up. He should have a default setting to step up. Right here, he's just flat-footed. And when he tries to throw this, he overstrides. And this thing comes out almost like a balloon. It really doesn't have just a ton of pace on it, and it dies on him. Now, I would say he's probably a little bit late on this throw because he's probably reading the safety. He opens here. I'm trying to throw that fade, but I don't want to really press this thing way down the field and let the safety converge on it. But right there, they do get a good rub. This ball's either got to be out right now or he's got to have an absolute cannon and lay that thing out there outside the numbers. But this thing's a little bit late to it and a little bit soft of a throw. Not quite the arm to get it there if he has to go up and over the top. Lets everybody adjust to it. This turns into kind of a jump ball in the middle of the field. Gets knocked down right there on about a 45-yard throw, where he didn't just look extremely strong with his arm. The arm strength right here on this one is not in question. And right here, you're getting a slot fade again. This is the same game against Alabama. 1, 2, 3. He actually strides up. And you see his transfer of weight, even though he's got a guy right in his face. So I think this is a really good football play. Got a guy right in his face. Strides up through it. And it's man-to-man coverage. Pretty good coverage. And the pace and the accuracy on this ball, there is literally a 2-foot window to throw this to. That is a great ball. Especially a guy in your face, drops it right in the bucket. Unbelievable throw and catch right here on this one. Another look of a slot fade, just kind of looking at his arm strength. And he's really good at throwing these slot fades. His eyes start here. His feet go with his eyes to the middle of the field. He throws this thing a little bit flat-footed, so you can see this is mostly arm. Not really a lot of lower body. Again, early in the year, wasn't great at his fundamentals. Brought him back to the middle of the field just a little bit, which is not perfect. Would love if he strides through this thing to put this thing outside the numbers, let him run it down. But the DB had gotten beaten so bad, he's able to be a little bit inaccurate to the middle of the field, and the wide receiver still makes up for it, gets in the end zone. So a decent ball, but in the NFL, the coverage is going to be a lot tighter. You got to put this thing outside the numbers and stride through that throw as opposed to just throwing that thing flat-footed. This right here is just a really good look. They're running a smash concept, and this is, again, it's late in the year. He's transferring his weight through his front foot. Fundamentals look a lot better, and he rips this thing on a corner route, which those intermediate throws to the sideline right there are the ones that everybody wants to look at. Really easy throw and catch right here. Of course, playing Georgia State, so they're off right there on coverage. But I thought it was a really good ball right there. Those intermediate throws on those corners, you got to be accurate on that. And a lot of pace on that ball. Good accuracy to the sideline. Allows these guys to get 2 down and then get out of bounds for about 20. So good timing on that as well. Here's one he's got all day against Mississippi State. And they're running like a hitch and go down here to the bottom. So you're getting a bit of a pump, big 3, pump, reset your feet, and he lets it fly. So right here on this one, if you're looking, I'd say this is Jayden Daniels putting everything on this ball that he can. So right here, he is literally ripping this as hard as he can, and it comes out a little bit wobbly. You can see it wobbling out of his hands, so it doesn't look just real comfortable throwing this thing deep and putting a lot of pace on the ball. But right there, he's throwing it from the 25. There's 25 yards, and this hits him at about 25. So 50 yards plus the angle. So I'd say it's probably 60-plus yards in the air. Accurate. I mean, they actually toast this corner, and they get a throw and catch. But, again, you can see it's either a little bit late or that arm strength is not quite there. And, of course, that came out a little bit wobbly. If he throws that thing with a little bit more pace, let him run it down, should be a touchdown. But he's late with the ball, and he puts everything he has on this one. So that kind of shows the limitations right there. Probably about 50, 60 yards in the air, which how many times are you going to throw that ball in the season? Not just a ton, but he's probably not going to be able to push that thing real deep like some of these other quarterbacks will. Really like this throw right here. Of course, you may not be throwing it deep and just absolutely pushing this thing 60-plus yards down the field, but a seam throw against one high, about 25 yards deep, this is an absolute rocket. So boom, 1, 2, 3, gets a big 3, strides through it, transitions to that front foot, and just rips it through this window. It's not a big window either. It looks big when he catches the ball, but right here, he's throwing between these backers. Boom, hits him right in the face mask right before that safety. Slows him down just a little bit, lets him beat that guy through this arm tackle right here. Again, I really like this football right here on this one. Just the patience that he has and the footwork just looks real comfortable. An absolute missile right through the window, hits him right in stride on the face mask. So this is a really accurate ball, and it really shows really good strength. Drip the thing to those intermediate windows like he does in this play. Another good look at these seam throws, which he's really good at. Again, big three, boom, steps up, strides, rips it. Absolute missile, hits him right in the face mask. So again, the accuracy, just looking comfortable right here against Georgia State. Very accurate ball, easy walking touchdown on those seams. Here's another look of just a really accurate intermediate throw for Jayden Daniels. I start here again, it's somewhat of a Y cross. Find that guy coming across, still transitions to his front foot, even though he's working his eyes and his feet. Great transition. And again, when he's good with his feet, he's pretty good with the football, puts it right on his face mask. Again, big play, great arm strength there by Jayden Daniels. Here's another look of pretty solid arm strength. Again, those intermediate throws, he's from the far hash, throwing it deep out or a corner to the field, puts a 2-ball on it, looks real comfortable, good pace on the football though. Throws him away from the defender. Again, easy throw and catch. Of course, this is Air Army, so should be able to beat these guys athletically, but still, that's a long throw, and he makes it look easy right here on this one. Showing they can just flip his wrist, get it out there to the numbers on an out or corner out there. As far as arm strength, I'm going to have to give Jayden Daniels a B+. He can push about 60, and of course, later in the year, he looked a lot better whenever he got comfortable, but I just don't think he naturally has an arm that's going to push this thing 70, 80 yards down the field. Of course, you're not going to do that very often, so I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. He's pretty solid with those intermediate throws, but as far as just ripping the ball down the field, just going to have a solid B right there on that. And I think it's one of those things when he gets more comfortable, I think he will have the arm strength to push it like they need to, but right now, and what he's shown on film, I'd have to say he's a B as far as arm strength. Now we're going to look at athleticism, and this is going to be what sets Jayden Daniels apart. He's unreal right here, and right here just his top of his drop. See, there's a lot of space movement. This is on a 3rd and 9 against Alabama, so a really good football team. Steps up through Dallas Turner. That guy's going to be a first rounder, probably top 10. Now here goes Jayden Daniels. There's way too much space right here for Jayden Daniels. Outrunning linebackers. Now he's outrunning safeties, outrunning Caleb Downs. Unbelievable. Huge play right there. Rips it all the way for an explosive play, probably 30 yards. And these guys that are DBs having to run him down. Now they do absolutely sling him into some dude, but just the athleticism right there, outrunning DBs. Outrunning linebackers, can't even put a hand on them. Pretty good play there. This is probably my favorite play of the entire year. This is LSU being down in the 3rd quarter by 4 points, and they're dropping back. They even have a spy on them. Pumps right here, doesn't like it. And you know what? I'm going to step up. The guy that spied on me, he took the running back. I'm just going to go ahead and split the entire defense going vertical. D lineman puts a hand on him. Then he come close to get him down. And there's a linebacker, and he absolutely makes him miss. Puts a hand on him. Again, now he's in space. This guy is doing a pretty good job of running, but he doesn't even gain any ground. He's trying to play with pace. Jayden Daniels he's not absolutely outrunning everybody. Gets a little bit of help, but really just the speed that he has to split the defense. This is a Florida defense as well, and of course I know they weren't very good, but right there absolutely split the defense for the last 15 yards. He's just jogging, looking back, doing whatever. And this is a huge play in the season. A 5-4 Florida team, a 6-3 LSU team, and this dude just splits the defense. Athletic enough to run away from DBs, safeties, doesn't matter. Walks in the end zone right here. Unbelievable. Here's a look of just a straight draw. This is, again, early in the season against Florida State. Gets going. This guy twists, which is what typically teams are going to do. Makes him miss. Now he's in space, and he's absolutely rolling. There's free safety trying to roll down. Linebacker, D lineman, doesn't matter. He's just walking away from him. Those guys are giving everything they got. This guy lays out there. He's probably a beast. If that dude did that, and I saw that guy coming to me like that, I would probably absolutely crap my pants. But Jayden Daniels, while that guy's diving at him, he just sticks his foot in the ground, makes a DB miss. And now he's rolling. He does get tackled here, but again, huge play. This is on 1st and 10 on a draw play. I know of one other guy that I've seen absolutely wrecking the Florida State defense from a quarterback position, running the ball, and that guy played for Louisville. So, again, Jayden Daniels will take a backseat to nobody on that athleticism. Unreal. Again, this is a clutch situation. Now, Missouri, and this is number 21, they ended up being a top 10 team. And LSU is down by 5 in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes. And Jayden Daniels has a pass, and he just decides he's going to take off from the 32-yard line. And this is a really good defense from Missouri. And he just absolutely outruns everybody. This safety is a little flat-footed, and he outruns them. Gets a pretty decent block right there on the corner. Gets to the end zone for 32 out. Untouched until he gets to about the 5-yard line. A guy diving. Runs through that arm tackle, gets in for a huge touchdown in what ended up being a really big game. Unbelievable right there by Jayden Daniels. Here's another look of his athleticism. This is a play that I really like, just a little bit of a boot. This may be something that you see a lot more with Jayden Daniels. On the run here, on the move, rips his shoulder around, drills a comeback at about 15 yards. So this is a deep comeback. That guy was probably 20 back to 15, and really accurate ball right there. He obviously has the option to run. So looking through his progression as he's on the move, I think this is something that he's going to end up doing quite a bit more of in NFL. So right there, athleticism, throwing on the run, looked really good right there. Another look of throwing the ball on the run right here, and they're running power pass to his right. So that's not the easiest thing in the world. But right there, they do get a guy wide open there. High-low on this guy. You got a corner, you got a flat route. He does a pretty decent job. I like for him to stay on the move a little bit, but he has a pull-up, throws this thing off his back foot, throws an accurate ball, puts it right on his chest, up and over that defender. But right there, again, throwing to his left. Again, probably something he's going to end up having to do a lot of in the NFL. Looked pretty good right there. Here's another look, stepping up, going around, and buying time. Of course, these guys' conversion does a great job keeping his eyes up on this one. Sees this guy work vertical. Again, on the move. Got a guy rolling down the sideline, right in stride. So right there, I thought that was a really good throw. Pretty good pocket movement as well. Stepped up, got out, knew where he was on the field, and just up and over. Puts it right in the bucket. Easy throwing catch. They end up scoring on this. Giving to your guy. Keeping your eyes up, even though you're getting a little bit of pocket movement. Here they're looking for the wheel to the backside. They do have a dig coming across. Just watch his eyes and his feet just continue to move together. It looks like he works all the way over here. Then he comes back to this side. And his feet, his eyes are working in unison. Puts it right on his chest on a guy working across. Great job just knowing that you have time and the feel for it. 1st and 20 right here. So you got good offense behind the sticks. And this is A&M's defense getting a twist, doing a few things. 6-man into the blitz, into the rush, and they do a pretty decent job picking it up. Jayden Daniels looks this way. Doesn't like it, gets it condensed right into his face. He spins out, and now he's rolling right here. They lost contain. Anytime you lose contain on Jayden Daniels, it's going to be an issue. And just see how easy it is to outrun these D linemen. He's just striding right there. Those D linemen are getting beat. They're doing it with ease, and he has to cut vertical. They set the edge here with the corner or safety. And now he just knows, hey, I've outran this D lineman, outran this linebacker. This is on a 1st and 20. He gets 22, 23 yards on that scramble right there. It makes it look easy. So right there, explosive play. And this is an athletic defense. This is a really good defense for an A&M. Makes it look easy with a 23, 24-yard play. So on this one, just looking at athleticism, really easy grade here. He's going to be an A+ with athleticism. He can absolutely make people wrong with his feet. And, of course, buying time as well, throwing the ball on the run, doing the things that he's done this past year. And, of course, he'll be asked to do in the NFL. He's going to be an issue and matchup problem for linebackers, safeties, whoever has to try to spy on him. And, of course, the defense is going to have to play him differently just based on his athleticism. So, unbelievable athlete. A+ as far as an athlete. He's as good as I think we've seen in a long time. Now just to look at some of the times that Jayden Daniels is processing the defense. You got to fade out here to the bottom. On this one, it's a misread. Corner, he's got outside leverage. His eyes are inside. Jayden Daniels got to see this. He's got to look at the corner. Not just assume this out's going to be there. Corner drives it. Gets a pick right here. You got to see that. And once that corner stays low, you got a chance to throw this whole shot into the window here or get off your progression. You don't feel good about that. But right here, misses the read and throws it right to the DB right there playing a hard corner. You got to be able to see that and read that corner on those smash routes. So the last play, he had a little bit of a misread. On this one is an unbelievable job getting through his progression. So if you're looking at it, looks like they're running a bit of a rub here, looking for man-to-man. They get zoned off, so right there he gets off of it. He can either throw this to the front pylon with some pace with that corner looking at the quarterback's eyes, so he doesn't like it. Now he's got a drive across. You got to dig to the back of the end zone. And this running back, he's just checking out late. So right there, he looked 1, didn't like it, looks 2, finds his dig coming across. That's 3. Now he's getting to number 4, the back getting out, releasing. So I just like what he's doing with his feet here. He's working his feet and his eyes at the same time. Pretty easy ball right there for his running back to catch. He's able to get in the end zone. Of course, this is on a 3rd and goal. So a really important play right here As you see, here's all his reads. There's the dig, there's the shallow, there's that fade by the number 2 receiver. Finds a way to get in the end zone. Great job with his patience, not just taking off and running. He got all the way possibly number 4, maybe 5 in his progression and gets a completion for a touchdown. One thing that does kind of concern me, and it wasn't something I was looking for, is just one of the things that ended up seeing multiple times throughout the year with Jayden Daniels, is this guy will get absolutely rocked. Like right here against Mississippi State, trying to make a cut, playing really high. Guy puts his face mask right in his chest and drops it. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to continue this trend. He should be getting down, getting out of bounds right here on this one. But instead, he cuts back and gets absolutely smoked. You got to do a better job protecting your body right there on that. Here's another look. This one's from early in the year. I'm sure most of you guys kind of remember seeing this probably. It's a little bit of play action. Doesn't like it, so I'm going to go vertical. Now, not the worst idea in the world, but for whatever reason, he decides, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and jump. This is a 1st and 10. But I'm a quarterback, and I'm going to go ahead and try to jump over everything. And, you know, poor decision here. Dude catches him mid-air, spikes him. You know, it's just one of those things that he obviously you're being aggressive with your athleticism. He's got elite athleticism. But as a quarterback, if it leads to you getting spiked, that's probably not a good thing. But right there, gets absolutely destroyed by Florida State early in the year. So not just a huge issue, but course, if you're getting spiked into the ground and you're A1, number 1 quarterback, if you're the guy that the entire franchise is around, you got to be smarter with your body. Staying healthy is going to be huge, especially with his athleticism, how much he's going to get out and run. You got to be able to protect yourself, protect your body. So as far as his awareness, I give him an A. And, of course, he's getting absolutely smacked a couple times. And shows a bit of a disregard for his body. But then he also has the awareness just to outrun guys, move around in the pocket, and escape pressure. So awareness, still going to give him an A, even though he's taken some of the hardest hits I've seen a quarterback take this year. For intangibles, I'm going to give him an A. And the way that he's been able to work for a few different coaches that seem to have NFL backgrounds, of course, you have Herm Edwards and his guys at Arizona State, and then you have Brian Kelly, who runs an NFL-style offense, and he gets through his progressions pretty well. He's also shown that he's going to be a leader. He's won some big games when they weren't expected to. This year had some issues with their defense, but with him at the helm, defense that was similar to any LSU defense over the years, they would have won maybe the SEC West and possible national championship. So I really think that he's a heck of a player and really led the team as well as they could with the lack of talent on the defensive side for LSU. As far as the comparison for Jayden Daniels, the number 1 guy that we're going to look at is Lamar Jackson. And whenever he was running through the Florida State's defense, just running vertical, and that play against Florida really reminded me of Lamar Jackson when he was running through a lot of defenses there when he's at Louisville. So that's a really good comparison, I think. Lamar might have a little bit better arm, but Jayden Daniels has the same athleticism, similar build, and I think if he goes to the right team, he's going to be a guy that's going to be in the league for a really long time and be a guy that's even in the mix for MVPs, championships. Really like Jayden Daniels. So as far as overall, I'm going to give Jayden Daniels an A. He's a top 5 guy. If he's not number 1 overall, I think to certain teams, he'd be their number 1 guy on the board just based off the way that he plays. Not sure how that's going to work out, but I would probably have either my top guy or second, depending on what kind of style I was wanting to play. But we will have a video where we rank everybody after I've had a really good chance to look at all of them in depth and show some film and everything. But right now I've got Jayden Daniels as easily a top 5 guy, if not number 1. But let us know where we missed, where you think that Jayden Daniels is better than I gave him credit for, maybe worse than I gave him credit for, and where you see Jayden Daniels going and what team you would love to see Jayden Daniels play for. So we really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys again in the next video.